Welcome to Manhwa Nirvana. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps keep me motivated. Now, let's dive straight into the story. The scene starts with Seaman's apartment, where we see him lying on his bed, saying, I am tired. My house is the best. The stone asks, was the kid earlier someone close to you? Seaman, listening to this, wonders if he is talking about Yu Jiang. He continues, saying that they are not really that close. They did grow up together ever since they were 5, but haven't met each other much lately. Seaman gets up and asks, why are you asking about her? The stone replies that she seems a little bit tricky, like a different person inside, contrary to how she appears outside, and that he will only help when she is in trouble. However, after saying this, the stone immediately brushes it off by saying, leave it. Let's hurry up and make the elixir because it will take time to make, and it should help with recovering your fatigue faster. Seaman, stretching his body, says, that's true. Let's start right away. We then see him taking items out of his inventory and holding a big block of wood while using ogre skill, saying, this size should be enough. As he looks at the ingredients, he then snaps his fingers and creates a table for alchemy. While touching the table, he says, alchemy at its finest. He starts by arranging all the necessary items for making the elixir on the table. The philosopher's stone asks, what are you going to do about the elixir's side effects? Seaman replies, saying, normally, I had focused on maximizing the ingredients effect, but this time I'm thinking of going in a different direction. While looking at the corrupted hobgoblin serum, the stone questions, how would you do that? Seaman answers with a question. Goblin-related ingredients are usually related to paralysis, right? The stone responds, right. The paralysis poison used is made from their own blood, and they would need to purify the corrupted magic inside this. However, the stone suddenly realizes what Seaman is trying to do and asks, are you trying to get an extra option related to paralysis poison? Seaman answers, yeah, that corrupted option is what I am focusing on. The stat boost from the elixir will be about the same anyway. The stone freaks out and shouts, are you out of your mind? You are going to mess with corruption magic? You are not even a demon, and you don't even know the basics of dark magic. Corruption magic is dangerously unstable, it will wreck your body just by touching it. Seaman replies, I know. The stone continues, if you are not careful, this could lead to penalties as serious as a magic nullification curse. Seaman calms the stone, saying, don't worry too much. I have a plan. There is someone I know who is incredibly skilled in handling corruption. He then confidently says, so, philosopher's stone, let's try a new synthesis. Sometime later, we hear Seaman saying, this is it. What do you think? It's just a matter of knowledge, right? Don't you agree? The stone answers, wow, brother, you are really clever. Seaman replies, come on, your brother is a smart man. As he looks down at the solution, he asks, so you think it's impossible? The stone answers, no, it is definitely possible. I am not exactly sure, but if this works like you said, there will be no problems. Seaman, excited, asks, really? The stone responds, yeah, it's just like with the obsidian tablet. It's not an ability-wielding artifact. After all, Seaman thinks to himself that this is the book of knowledge, and it would not require as many points as Astraph. The stone continues, still, late synthesis will cost more. Seaman asks, so you are saying I will need a lot of achievement points later on, huh? The stone answers, yes. Unless you significantly boost your alchemy stat. Seaman starts wondering, what he is about to make is something that could be classified as a mythical grade artifact. The alchemy skills required to use it are beyond what anyone can comprehend. Even maxing out his stats as a ranker would not be feasible, and it makes sense since mythical grade items are only given by the constellations to their chosen ones under certain conditions. He asks the philosopher's stone, how many achievement points do you think the synthesis will cost? The stone answers that it depends on the completion rate he is aiming for and reminds him that they got lucky in the case of the obsidian tablet. Seaman, confused, asks, lucky? How so? The stone continues, well, Being an alchemist gives you some bonuses. Plus, I have a certain charm. Seaman, while making a funny face, says, when you say charm, you mean the special properties of the philosopher's stone, right? Same for this? The stone, pouting, says, can't you just accept a compliment? Seaman comments, fine. You are charming, our stone. Being cute. The stone asks Seaman to stop, saying, you're making me blush, Seaman. Coming to business. Asks, you mean the completion rate is important, right? The stone says, exactly. Seaman thinks the philosopher's stone defines completion rate in terms of grade and percentage. Lowering the completion rate would lower the cost, but that works for equipment like Astraf. And knowledge is different. No matter how great the information is, if it's incomplete, it's useless. He will have to balance cost and usability. The philosopher's stone interrupts, saying it has a question. Seaman says, sure. What is it? The stone continues, you fused with the obsidian tablet, right? Seaman replies, yeah. Technically absorbed it. The stone asks, technically absorbed it? And I'm the awesome one. As it is ultimately a crafted item. Seaman smiles and says, so if it's a crafted item, does that also mean you could absorb knowledge? The stone replies, of course. Don't you know I'm super smart? Seaman, excited hearing this, says, great. It's crafting time. The stone asks, what quality should we set it at? You know, knowledge is different from weapons. Seaman confidently answers, exactly 10%. That will be enough. The stone replies, looks like you know the structure of crafted items. Seaman answers, roughly. Actually, it's something I heard. He remembers Malsuk throwing a book at him and asking him to take a look at it, saying, this damn martial art is made up of exactly 10 parts according to 10-star rank great master, but my damn head is only good enough for 7 parts. Can't you do something with your skills? As we see old Seaman looking at the book, Seaman thinks to himself that Malsuk was unable to interpret heavenly demon divine art, and only the inheritors could read it. So he didn't understand any word, but he knew that heavenly demon divine art was made up of 10 parts. Logically speaking, dividing it into 10 parts means 10% for each rank. The 10 parts are like 10 spells, and this book created a high ranker like Malsuk, who only read 7 parts. Seaman was originally planning to read and interpret the heavenly demon divine art directly, but now, as the philosopher's stone can absorb knowledge from crafted items, it changes everything. Now, he won't struggle with interpreting it. He just needs to prepare his body, and for that, human transmutation is enough. He asks the stone, how much achievement points would I require for 10? The stone answers, 10 isn't that expensive. 5,000 points would be enough. Seaman, shocked, asks, is 5,000 points cheap? The stone continues, but the latter part will be a lot harder, as it's a mythical grade item. Seaman, listening to this, prepares to snap and says, we can think about the latter part afterwards. Let's just start crafting. As he snaps, a paper manifests with words written on it. Seaman, seeing this, excitedly says, done. We see he generated the heavenly demon divine art, which is a counterfeit at 10%. He puts the paper to his chest and asks the philosopher's stone to absorb it. While the stone absorbs it, Seaman thinks that this time, the constellation did not react, but the stone interrupts him and says, I absorbed it. But this is really hard to understand. It's like grasping the clouds. But suddenly, Seaman feels a bit weird and says, this is exactly what I felt when I went through regression. After some time, when he opens his eyes, he finds himself near a beautiful waterfall. Confused, he asks himself, where is this? Suddenly, he hears a voice from behind, are you awake? As he turns back, he sees an old man in Murim clothes. Finally, they get to see a heavenly demon, asking, how are you? Is your body fine? Seaman gets up and says, I'm fine. The old man continues, you are not like young folks these days, as he waves his hand, asking him to come have a seat. Seaman is surprised as he is dragged toward the old man. Seaman realizes something and says, I never thought I'd get to meet a constellation face to face. The old man laughs and says, you speak as if you already know me. Seaman continues. How could I notice before? I came here. The technique I mastered was the heavenly demon divine art. The old man, while laughing, says, makes sense. That was a pointless question. You are correct. I am the constellation known as Heavenly Demon. Seaman is surprised as he gets a notification from the system, saying, congratulations. You got 5,000 achievement points as you are the first person to meet Heavenly Demon, but it also warns him that the Heavenly Demon is an extremely dangerous entity, as we see the demonic laugh of Heavenly Demon. The system continues. Our side will do our utmost to ensure your safety, but we strongly urge you to not provoke him, and in case of emergency, you will immediately be reverse summoned back to Earth. Seaman thinks. To think the system would issue a warning like this. The old man laughs and says, they're making a fuss over nothing, as we see the mood change to a funny tone. The Heavenly Demon says, shoo, get out of here, you're being a nuisance. Seaman thinks, like master, disciple. He asks, the reason you called me must be because of the Heavenly Demon art, right? The Heavenly Demon says, you're quite the straightforward fellow. Yes, young people should have some fire in them like you. As he strokes his beard, he continues, while it's true that the Heavenly Demon divine art is only passed to one successor, that's not the issue here. My interest lies elsewhere. Who exactly are you? He asks. Seaman, confused, asks, what do you mean? He wonders, what's this? Does he know about my regression? Even Zeus and Black Goat didn't seem to know anything about it. But now a high-ranking constellation is asking about me? The Heavenly Demon laughs and says, are you playing dumb in front of me? I see you're not entirely clueless. He then asks, how much do you know about me? Seaman thinks for a second about all the things Malsik said about the Heavenly Demon, and says, the Heavenly Demon I know is a constellation who pursued the path of tyranny and values the survival of the fittest. Just like the demon realm. The Heavenly Demon laughs, saying, what a clever man. You have hit the mark. As you said, before becoming a constellation, I constantly sought power and walked the path of a tyrant. We see his purple demonic eyes. Seaman is shocked when he sees his eyes and thinks, those eyes remind me of the massive eye I saw in my previous life. That means that I must belong to a constellation, at least on the level of the Heavenly Demon. The Heavenly Demon activates his eyes, and we see purple lightning coming out of it. The surroundings are engulfed in the purple aura, and Seaman thinks to himself that it feels like he's sinking into the void. Yet, it's not scary at all. If anything, it feels similar. The old man laughs while seeing this and says, you are truly someone touched by his presence, a mere mortal standing firm in the face of the void. How fascinating. Are you still going to pretend you don't know? Seaman answers, it must be because of my title. The old man, confused, asks, title? Seaman replies, yes, I have a title called, the one who receives attention from beyond. The old man, listening to this, laughs loudly, saying, beyond, huh? It's just like him describing himself as an entire dimension. Seaman asks, so you have met the being called Beyond before, have you? The old man answers, yes, I have. Seaman continues, and you lost to him, didn't you? Ha, why would you ask that? The old man laughs and says, you have quite the guts to speak so boldly with that mouth of yours, as he spreads his killing intent all over the place. Seaman thinks to himself, such killing intent, but there is no need to be afraid. If something happens to me, the Black Goat will not stand by. The old man continues, laughing, you are truly worthy of his attention. Now, it makes sense why that lunatic showed interest in you. He continues, you are absolutely right. I have lost to him, and quite miserably at that. That's why I find you quite intriguing. I'm curious as to whether you've caught his eyes. Honestly, I wouldn't admit this, but it took me 1,000 years to grab his attention. Hearing this, Seaman is shocked. The old man walks forward as he says, now that I think about it, a mortal like you probably has no idea about him, that being. But he suddenly stops, looking at something, and says, ugh, these pests are so noisy. Seaman is shocked at what he is doing. The Heavenly Demon says, my disciple, It seems like we must end our meeting here for now. Seaman, hearing this, asks, yes, but disciple? The old man continues, you have inherited the heavenly demon divine art, haven't you? That makes you my disciple in a way. Of course, I don't have any objection to you learning the heavenly demon divine art. In fact, I welcome it. Someone under his gaze inheriting my technique is something to celebrate. However, you are not my direct disciple, so I have a favor to ask. As we see the status window telling Seaman that the heavenly demon has assigned a quest to him, Seaman reads it. It states that the heavenly demon is looking for a worthy disciple. The reward is 5,000 achievement points and the heavenly demon divine art, 2 stars. The old man asks, what do you think? I tailored the format similar to the system format. Seaman thinks, a candidate worthy of being sponsored by a constellation. What will happen to Malsik if I accept this? My action would end up changing her future. But he is interrupted by the heavenly demon, who says that he has some conditions that Seaman would have to follow. Seaman asks, what condition? The heavenly demon replies, since you are a man, I would prefer the candidate to be a woman. She must be young, extraordinarily beautiful, and not just bold, but also fiercely spirited, as the heavenly demon. Divine art suits a headstrong nature, after all. Seaman, confused, listening to this, asks, wait a minute, but the heavenly demon, while blushing, says, naturally, she should have long and elegant arms. Oh, and I prefer fair skin. Seaman says, heavenly demon, this seems like your personal taste rather than the criteria for the successor. The old man sways. Don't belittle this matter. Choosing a martial artist is a sacred duty. Seaman, holding his head, thinks, Malsuk's future as the next heavenly demon seems unchanged. Now get why Malsuk curses him so much. The next scene shifts to Seaman's apartment, where he wakes up at the call of the philosopher's stone. The stone asks, are you okay? Are you sure you are awake? While we see Seaman panting heavily, the stone continues, what on earth happened? Why did you suddenly pass out? Seaman asks, passed out? Are you saying I fainted? I actually met a celestial being. The stone asks, a constellation? How could you meet one when it's not even in an official arena? He realizes and, while being shocked, asks, wait a second, don't tell me, did you meet the heavenly demon? Seaman asks, how do you know? The stone replies, of course I know. That lunatic constellation who only thinks about power is quite infamous. Plus, he is quite lustful and asks, don't you know his quote? Man or woman, as long as they are tasty, it doesn't matter. What a man. Seaman, being shocked, asks, what? The stone continues while giving an eye. Did the heavenly demon do something to you? Seaman, being flustered, says, no, nothing like that happened. The stone continues, honestly, it's already a miracle that you came back in one piece after meeting that psycho. I am telling you, if you were ugly, he probably would have killed you on the spot, and if that pervert let you go, he must like you in some way. And asks Seaman, didn't he freak out about the heavenly demon divine art? Seaman, while holding his head, says, no. Actually, he thanked me for learning it. The stone continues, yep, just exactly as crazy as the rumors say. Good for us anyway. Let's get to making the elixir now that you can handle the demonic energy. It's the perfect time. Seaman gets up while saying, let's do it. As he prepares to make the elixir, some sound comes from the flask. The stone says, oh, you can hear that? Every time we remove the poison, the serum screams. It's like yelling, what are you doing to me? As the process goes on and the serum changes its color, the stone continues its commentary. Oh, the poisons have completely drained. Where did the feisty attitude go, huh? Oh my, already surrendering? That's too easy. I thought it would have put up more of a fight. Seaman, hearing this, says, sometimes you really behave strange. After some time, we see the process is complete, and a green pill is on the table. The stone, confused, says, huh? It's not a potion but a pill? Seaman answers, well, I don't have any containers, so keeping it in liquid form was a bit tricky. The stone continues, well, considering the demonic energy, That makes sense. Seaman picks up the pill and checks its status. It mentions blood pill, and there is a high chance of gaining demonic energy when consumed. Seaman, while seeing this, praises himself, thinking he has outdone himself. He was nervous as it had been a while since he created any elixir, but he didn't expect to pull off a permanent stat increase using these materials. The stone says, the ingredients were subpar, so it's only a C rank pill, but the options are insane. As expected, it means you are good at it. But the chance of getting demonic energy is not 100. Seaman replies, normally, yeah, but the technique of the heavenly demon is already here. All I have to do is use it properly, as he looks at the stone. Then he takes the pill saying, all right, now I will take the pill, and sits in the cross-legged position meditating as we see a demonic aura surrounding him. The system starts sending notifications. The elixir effect increases strength, agility, and health by 2. As he concentrates, he is taken to the inner state where he sees the demonic energy and excitedly says, found it. As we see the energy starting to disappear, Seaman runs towards it, but thinks it might be too late. However, he shouts, Philosopher's Stone, as we see the stone coming from behind and biting it, saying, got you, little rascal. Seaman, while panting, says, good, you are quite good at this, while thinking that although it was said to have a high chance, the energy was really close to slipping away. First, I need to form the danchin and then circulate the flow through my meridians, he thinks. As he prepares to make a danchin, he is stopped by the Philosopher's Stone, which asks him, does the danchin have to be formed below the navel? Seaman, confused, asks, why? The stone continues, do you know what a danchin even means? Seaman thinks for a little and says, I never thought about it like that. The stone tells him, the danchin is basically a concentration point to store and use energy efficiently, right? Seaman answers, that's true. The stone asks, but why does it have to be below the navel? Appa, you already have the most perfect concentration point in the world. As Seaman realizes, he thinks, yes, the Philosopher's Stone is the perfect core from crafting to making weapons to absorbing knowledge. It can do it all. He smiles and answers, you are right. Using you as the danchin instead would be the perfect choice, and it would be better than a regular danchin. We see him gathering his energy at his chest, where the Philosopher's Stone is located. The stone advises Seaman, saying, exactly. Even if you learned the heavenly demon art, don't forget you are an alchemist at heart. Don't forget your foundation. Seaman smiles as he agrees that he is an alchemist first, as alchemy is what changed his life, and he thanks the Philosopher's Stone for making him realize something so important as we see energy being absorbed into the Philosopher's Stone. The system notifies that you have successfully absorbed demonic energy. You have obtained the unique stat demonic energy, and your danchin has successfully merged with the Philosopher's Stone. We see Seaman smiling, his eyes glowing in blue light, but he is shocked to see a notification that states, the demonic energy is now bound to your alchemy stat. As he checks his status window, he is shocked to see that his demonic energy is already at 8. He asks, so when it says bound, it's not just the placement? The stone answers, yes. The alchemy stat also influences the demonic energy stat. He notices that his alchemy stat is 17 and his demonic energy is 8, which is exactly half. Realizing something, he asks the stone, my alchemy grows, does that mean my demonic energy also grows? The stone answers, of course. It's similar to how my ability is influenced by you, Seaman, but don't forget that it's not a perfect system, as it doesn't round off and stats should always be even. Seaman, hearing this, smiles and thinks, this is an absolute jackpot. As his demonic energy increases with his alchemy stat, he gets excited for the next arena match as we see him clenching his fist with his red glowing eyes. The next scene shows the system welcoming players to the Galaxy Arena, announcing that the next event will be a survival match with a total of 100 participants. As a large group of players gathers, we see a man grinding his teeth, saying, a survival match, how annoying. He has a stream open where users are commenting. One says, what can they do? It's abyss, which is so unpredictable, while another adds, it's a 1 in 3 chance of getting survival mode. What bad luck. The person, known as Money King, tells his viewers to watch their words as survival mode also appears in the higher ranks. Looking toward his teammates, he says, as you all know, survival mode is the absolute worst event for bus operations, and our party has also disbanded. Realizing this, one of his teammates responds, yeah, it really did. Another one shouts, what the hell? I paid 10 million for this. What are you going to do about it? The viewers enjoy the commotion, with one commenting, wow, they are really mad, while another says, what's the Money King gonna do now? Will he refund them? Money King tells his team to calm down and not focus on the chat. He continues, laughing, the rewards for survival mode are distributed by rank. The rewards start from the 50th rank, and the highest reward is for first place. His teammates ask, do you mean you'll guarantee us the top 3 rewards? We paid you for that. The man laughs and says, precisely, as expected, you have a sharp mind. He then proudly announces, the Money King, may charge high bus fares, but I always deliver value for the price. Viewers agree, with many praising him in the chat. One of his teammates says, we trusted you because we know your skills are great. Feeling shy, Money King responds. Another person asks, so, how exactly are you planning to secure us the top 3 spots? Hearing this, Money King smiles and says, it's simple, we will form a team. Shocked, his teammates ask, a team? Won't that hurt your reputation? But Money King reassures them, don't worry about it. This is an abandoned mine, as he touches the walls. If you all hide behind my back, no one will notice that we are teaming. Hearing his words, his teammates agree, saying, that does make sense, as players at this rank don't have advanced perception abilities either. Money King laughs and explains, the bus operation is simple. Once I wipe everyone out, it'll just be us 4. Then, I will take myself out. Shocked, his teammates respond in unison. Then we 3 can decide the ranking among ourselves? Money King nods, exactly. That's what you paid me for. The viewers get excited, with one commenting, King is crazy. Another says, he's letting the customers fight among themselves. Someone else asks, stream it. We don't want to miss the fun. But suddenly, blue portal appears, cutting their excitement short. Everyone looks toward it, and we see Seaman stepping out, his hood covering his face. Money King laughs, unaware that he is about to be sent straight to the lobby. With a confident smirk and his red eyes glowing, he says, well, this is my lucky day. Free kills are starting to walk into my lap. Meanwhile, viewers comment, what a poor guy, lol, and the food delivered itself. The system then announces that the participants have been matched and that the location will be the frozen mine. Money King instructs his customers to stay in the back as he and Seaman lock eyes, both glowing with confidence. The system declares, the arena will now begin, and gives the final command, eliminate all opponents. Seaman notices a notification from the status window informing him that, based on his current performance, his rank placement period is coming to an end. Seeing this, Seaman thinks to himself, they're ending my placement matches with this game? Are they trying to assign me a rank and push me to grow faster? Before regression, he was stuck at level 1 weak and helpless, but now, he has the skills to rise as high as he can go. He suddenly remembers that he forgot to turn on his stream. Though he doubts it will have any viewers right now, he is shocked as soon as he opens it, seeing multiple notifications stating, Zeus has joined, Black Goat has joined, and Heavenly Demon has joined. He asks himself, can constellations also join broadcasts? But before he can process it further, a sudden voice rings out Bon Appetit. As Money King rushes towards Seaman with his fist engulfed in a red aura, he strikes with a powerful punch, releasing a shockwave as Seaman tries to block it. The impact causes a cloud of smoke to fill the area. Money King smirks to himself, thinking, it's working perfectly. Back in the day, I almost hit diamond rank with just my fists. These players have no chance against me. The thrill of stomping weaker opponents never gets old, but as the smoke clears, His smirk fades into shock. Seaman stands there perfectly fine, having completely blocked his attack. Now, it's Seaman's turn. He throws a punch straight to Money King's stomach. Money King attempts to block, but the sheer force pushes him back. Stunned, he thinks, "What is this? Someone from the abyss parried my attack?" The viewers are equally shocked, commenting, "What was that move? And how did he block that punch?" Some even speculate that it's a staged fight for viewership. Money King, laughing, wears his knuckles and says, "Wow, you don't look like much, but you've got some skills, huh?" Seaman, analyzing the situation, recognizes that Money King used a high-level advanced defense skill known as deflection. Judging by his gear, he seems to be a martial artist. However, something still feels unusual about him. The Philosopher's Stone interrupts his thoughts, warning that more people are behind him. Seaman quickly assesses the situation and comes to a conclusion. "You're a bus driver, aren't you?" he says. Money King, slightly surprised, asks, "How did you guess?" As hidden players begin to emerge from the shadows, Seaman smirks and says, "It's obvious." Money King, now slightly annoyed, responds, "Impressive, but that tone of yours is quite rude." Seaman, not holding back, replies, "Should I really be polite to someone who makes a living out of carrying people up the ranks?" Now slightly irritated, Seaman thinks to himself, whether it's the people who spend money to be carried up the ranks or the bus drivers who take them, they're all the same. If anything, the bus drivers are even worse because of scum like them. Legitimate players in the ranked arena suffer. Money King, arrogantly smiling, says, "Abyss players sure have guts. You knew I was a bus driver, yet you still act like this?" The viewers take Money King's side, commenting, "Seaman is an idiot. He doesn't know what he's getting himself into." Seeing these comments, Money King laughs. "What harsh words, everyone," he says mockingly before turning back to Seaman. "Still, he's got guts trying to climb up, hasn't he?" He smirks, knowing that messing with the player's mental state is also a skill. But this fool wouldn't understand that, he thinks. Clenching his fists, he glares at Seaman. And on top of that, how dare this abyss scum counter my attack? I'll make him pay for the insult. Seaman, completely calm, says, coming into a lower-ranked match and spouting such an obvious bait. "Isn't that a bit too pitiful?" Money King, still smiling, responds, "Is that so? But from what I can see, it's working pretty well. Could it be that you're pissed?" Seaman smiles and says, No, I'm not mad. It's just that one of my precious viewers gave me a mission, so I can't back out now," as he prepares his fists while being engulfed in demonic energy. Money King, listening to this, laughs and says, "Oh my, I didn't know that I was in the presence of someone who is taking a mission in this rank bracket, no less, thinking that taking a mission in bronze silver gold stream is ridiculous. Even a passing dog would laugh at that nonsense." Seaman, with his glowing eyes, praises himself, saying, "Taking on missions during placement, no less. I really am amazing," as he jumps toward Money King with his fist engulfed in demonic energy. Money King, not realizing what's going to happen to him, thinks, "Got him right where I wanted, and now it's time to hit him back." As soon as their fists collide, a shockwave is released. Seaman is unfazed, but Money King seems to be struggling slightly. Seaman dodges the next punch swiftly, and the next one as well. Seeing this, Money King says, "You rat bastard." But Seaman immediately counterattacks, landing a Saitama punch to his stomach. Money King, unable to process what's happening, coughs up blood and is thrown back as he thinks, "He dodged my attack and also exploited an opening. Who is this guy?" As we see our Bruce Lee giving a pose, he continues to think that Seaman is not an ordinary player. The customers, shocked by this happening, ask Money King if he is okay. Seeing this, he thinks, everyone is watching. I have to finish this quickly and cleanly, and charges at Seaman at full power. As he lands a punch, Seaman swiftly evades it. He immediately throws another one, but Seaman, smiling, avoids it too and says, "Is this all you got? Then I guess it's my turn," as he prepares his punch and strikes Money King so hard that he is thrown out of the panel. We see him being yeeted away to the wall. Money King thinks, There is no way I'm losing. And where is he getting this strength from? As he sees the customers watching, he continues, "What a humiliation," and grinds his teeth before launching forward at Seaman, shouting, "You abyss trash. Stop running and fight me head on." We see Money King attacking with his leg, but Seaman, gathering energy from his core, concentrates it in his hand and launches an attack as well. As both strikes collide, waves are formed around them, and we see Money King just fractured his leg. Pissed, he shouts, "You trash," as he unleashes all his force. Seaman, seeing this, recognizes it as a class explosive trait. Once again, we see Money King throwing a punch at Seaman while shouting, "Die." Seaman, seeing all this, thinks, finally, he's coming at full force. Normally, dodging would be the smart move, but I can't miss the mission, as we see him activate Ogre Skin. Together with Ogre Skin, he unleashes Heavenly Demon Divine Strike, Strike of the Tyrant Emperor. As they both collide, giving their all, the whole place vibrates. We see Money King coughing up blood as his viewers are shocked at the situation. Money King has lost his arm and is on his knees, saying, "This can't be possible. I lost," as he dies. We get a system notification, "You have achieved first blood, and the clear reward for this arena has increased." Seaman, seeing this, rubs his arm and says, "It's still hard to fully execute the technique," as he gets more notifications stating that Heavenly Demon is satisfied and has sponsored 500 achievement points. Seaman, seeing this, says, "Not only missions, but they're also giving me this. I will work hard to satisfy the mission given by Heavenly Demon." Heavenly Demon, seeing this, nods in satisfaction as the system continues. The Galaxy Arena praises you for receiving sponsorship from 3 high-rank constellations. You have gained an extra 1,000 points as a reward and have also acquired the title King's Pick. Seaman, shocked seeing all this, thinks, 1,000 points just because they are high-ranking constellations. That's being generous and also such an achievement. As he checks the title, he sees that King's Pick states as their interest increases, so will your future growth, and all abilities, +3. As you continue to receive sponsorship, this title will be renewed. Seaman, seeing this, asks, "A renewable title?" and is shocked to see that all his stats increase by 1 every time a constellation sponsors him, but he quickly thinks that there are some downsides to this. As the constellation drops out, the added options will also decrease, and unlike growth-type titles, there is a possibility of option reduction as well. He then calls his status window and sees that all his stats are +3 except for his demonic energy. He is dissatisfied by it, but thinks positively about it, as it's not like there is no stat increase at all. He smiles and thinks to himself, "I don't know how picky the constellations will be, but I will try to complete as many missions as possible from now on." We see a sword suddenly dropping. The customer is utterly shocked and falls down as he says, "Money King lost, it's a lie, right?" Seaman notices them and thinks, there were still people here. As he walks towards them, the players prepare their weapons, saying, "Don't come near." Another player says, "I will stab you if you come near," trembling in fear. Seaman, seeing this, is pissed and wonders how they passed the tutorial with such poor skills. Pathetic. Because of people who just pay for bus rides without any skills, decent players have died in the regular arena. His eyes glow as he prepares his punch. Sometime after, we see he has killed all but 2 of them and is standing in front of their corpses. The last player, standing behind him, says, "You are strong. It seems your innate stats are superior, and I like that you don't go easy on the weak." Seaman turns around and says, "Excuse me, I think you are misunderstanding something. This is the arena, there is no such thing as going easy on the weak." The last player agrees and asks, "As you know, there are many who have superior specs, but can't utilize them properly, right?" Seaman, seeing this, is confused and thinks, "What's up with this person?" The person smiles and takes something out of his pocket while saying, "But you see, the world doesn't run on strength alone." He takes out his card and asks Seaman to take it. Seaman, seeing it, asks, "What's this?" As he reads, he realizes who he is. He asks, "You're a scout from China?" The scout says, "Originally, I was going to give the offer to Money King, as his talent was too precious to be wasted as a booster. Seaman asks, so why didn't you give it to him? The scout answers, it's because I want to start streaming again. Seaman, still staring at the card, thinks to himself, Continental Province. I never thought I would see it here. It is one of the world's top 2 guilds from China. It rose to the world's top 2 when Zhang Huang became the guildmaster. To think I would get involved with these guys again, thought they would start moving soon. But it seems they have been poaching talents for a while now. As he looks at the scout says he understands it's suspicious and that he is aware of China's image. Seaman replies, you sure do. You're even naturalized just to participate in Korean arena matchmaking. The man laughs and says, what can we do? Global matchmaking is only possible from platinum rank and above. He then offers Seaman 920 million won and says he will pay it upfront as just a token of sincerity. He continues, stating that a weapon worth 500 million, armor worth 100 million, will also be provided, and the contract terms are renewable every 3 years. Even if the contract ends, the provided items will be his to keep. Additionally, if Seaman naturalizes to China, an additional 50 million won will be provided, totaling about 9.2 billion won. Seeing Seaman's reaction, the scout smiles, thinking, you can't refuse this, can you? Even the famous guilds don't offer such conditions to lower rank players. Seaman smiles and says, it's certainly an incredible offer. Hearing this, the scout responds, well, doesn't it tempt you? Over 90% have already accepted this offer. As he extends his hand forward, Seaman thinks to himself, for low ranks, these conditions can make anyone's eyes pop out. There are also no binding conditions at all, but I know the Continental Province very well. He shakes the scout's hand, and seeing this, the scout smiles. But suddenly, Seaman releases his energy as he smirks and says, but you know, as a scout, you should really improve your eye for talent. He then delivers a Saitama punch to the scout's stomach. The scout coughs up blood and falls to his knees, asking why. Seaman, grinning, responds, why am I refusing? It's nothing. I just don't like the terms. As he approaches to beat the life out of him, we see the corpse of the scout lying on the ground. Seaman thinks, I know what kind of people you all are, and I will not be fooled again. He then stretches himself and moves on to his next target. We see someone's apartment where Money King's audience is discussing the earlier fight, saying he got totally wrecked by the Abyss player. Money King, pissed at this, takes off his VR headset and says he is still streaming. There is something he must do. As he looks at his viewers, he asks them to calm down, stating that the arena match is already over. He admits he is not sure what happened, but from his experience, the other guy is not from the ranked bracket. The viewers comment, saying, using key from the Abyss is crossing the line. Another one adds, even if it wasn't key, the power doesn't make any sense. Money King, seeing this, thinks, finally, the opinion is leaning towards me. He stops them and says the first priority is to apologize to the customers. Normally, there are no refunds, but in this case, there will be a full refund. Saying this, he pulls down his VR headset and tells them, I will be logging off now. Thanks for watching the stream. As soon as he clicks the end screen button, he smashes the VR headset to the ground, shouting, damn it, key at lower ranks? How is it possible? Holding his head, he thinks, to use key at lower levels, you need at least stat level 100. Either he's a prodigy or has an innate talent, but even that's for upper diamond. There's no way it should appear in the bronze silver tier. I have seen many boosters, but not someone like this. I've come all the way from platinum eating all sorts of penalties, only to face this humiliation. There must be some trick behind this, and who the hell is he? He grinds his teeth in frustration. Suddenly, he realizes that Seaman did mention receiving a mission, which means there must be a broadcast. He quickly checks his phone and finds Seaman under the name Seaman, an unranked player. Slightly shocked, he thinks to himself, he hasn't even completed the placement matches? Clicking on the stream, he watches as Seaman kills everyone one by one. Stunned, he thinks, impossible, this guy's martial arts are insane. Every single movement of his contains high-level martial principles. What on earth did he learn? And why is he so good at finding players in such dark places? We see Seaman moving through a dark passageway as Money King continues. The abandoned mine has a complex, maze-like structure, similar to an ant colony, but Seaman keeps moving without pause. Even in those black zones, as we see Seaman attacking another player, Money King, watching in disbelief, asks, "Is this supposed to be unranked?" However, he suddenly notices that there are 3 viewers, but no one is chatting. He sends the first message asking, "Is anyone there?" He immediately gets a message from Dragon saying, "What a coincidence to meet Money King again." Realizing who it is, Money King responds, "If it's because of the refund, I will process it today." But Dragon, or rather, the scout, replies, "No need for a refund," and simply sends his business card via private DM, asking him to check it later. Seeing this, Money King is overjoyed, sighs, and thinks, "Dodged a bullet there." Just then, he gets a notification. Checking the chat, he sees Zeus saying, "How noisy," followed by Heavenly Demon agreeing with Zeus. Confused, Money King says, "Constellations? Are these guys crazy? How dare they use constellation names, even for a contract? This is going too far. Isn't using constellation names going too far?" He then asks Zeus and Heavenly Demon, confused about what's going on. Money King, smiling, says, "Look at these guys, still pretending not to know. You think I can't tell? You're just trying to get views." He then replies to them, "You're really committed to this act. If you have any decency, just stop. My viewers will be coming soon, and if you keep this up." Suddenly, Black Goat joins the chat, saying, "What in the 7 wonders is happening?" Money King, seeing all this, gets even more pissed and says, "These so-called managers are swearing too." The scene then shifts towards Seaman, where we see him killing another player and asking, "Is this the end?" As he checks the arena board, he sees that he is at the top with 20 kills. He says, "With this score, I should be safe in the first place, even if I take it easy now. But the mission I received at the start is not complete." Looking at his status window, he thinks, it states to follow the ruthless path. Examining it, he realizes it's an ambiguous mission, doesn't tell him exactly what to do. Leaving it for now, he says, "I guess I'll know when the arena ends." Just then, he notices something and looks up, saying, "What's that?" Activating Owl's body tissue in his eyes, he sees some white glowing crystals. Switching to Black Panther's tissue, he leaps toward it, saying, "I'll have to take a closer look." Reaching the top and hanging onto the wall, he examines the ore. The stone suddenly speaks. "Could this be that thing?" Seaman asks, "What? That thing?" The stone, acting suspiciously, repeats, "That thing." Seaman quickly realizes something and opens his status window. The stone then asks Appa, "How is it? I know it all, right?" Shocked at what he sees on the status window, Seaman responds, "Yes, that's right." The Philosopher's Stone, feeling excited, urges Seaman, "Hurry and grab it." Seaman, also excited, looks at the ore and thinks, "I never imagined we'd find this in an abandoned mine." Coming down, he says, "Let's finish the arena first, then check it properly. I guess this will remain a mystery for some time." Suddenly, he gets a system notification. Shocked, he sees that a world war is unfolding in his broadcast between constellations and other viewers. Black Goat is kicking everyone out, while Zeus praises him, saying, "I like this part of you." Seaman, completely bewildered, wonders, what on earth is going on? He quickly analyzes the situation and understands what's going on. He thinks that he simply gave the constellations the broadcast manager privileges to maintain the king's title. We see some viewers lashing out at the constellations and some being the awesome ones, saying, "Ban me too, ban me too." Seaman sighs and thinks that they have kicked over 1,000 people out of 4,000. And more people are coming because of this drama. Let's stay calm and deal with the constellations first. He opens his mic to talk to the constellations and says the person, Money King, from earlier started the fight and brought all these viewers with him. Zeus nods, and the Black Goat pouts and nods. Black Goat continues by saying that they will crush Money King if achievement points are offered. Seaman quickly refuses and says, "We can't do that." Seaman holds his head and thinks that if a constellation intervenes before the regular arena starts, the Galaxy Arena won't stand idly by. That would be dangerous, but he also can't ignore Black Goat's complaint. If he will, the King's pick will disappear, and if it happens, he will lose 4 levels of worth stats in a single go. Then, the attitude he should show here is, he quickly switches up his mood, and, being lovey-dovey, asks Black Goat to take a deep breath, and that he understands the situation now. He will open the chat and manager access now, and tells Black Goat not to worry about messages. Black Goat accepts, and says they don't care about mere humans. Seaman, giving a bright smile and taking advantage of the situation, says, "Of course, I will always be grateful to Black Goat." Listening to this, Black Goat's cheeks become slightly red, and it shyly nods. Zeus and Heavenly Demon, seeing this, chuckle. Seaman thinks, "Finally, I calmed them down," and continues to speak, saying that he would prefer if their existence wasn't revealed yet. He continues to think that it's a world where the player's value is evaluated based on being chosen by the constellation, and of course, it also comes with all the demerits like schemes, assassination, and many others. So, being at this rank, it's too dangerous. So, he explains something to the constellation so that, for now, they keep their identity hidden. After a while, all 3 constellations agree with him, and he turns the broadcast screen back on. Now, we see the chat still chatting among themselves about where Seaman has gone. Suddenly, they see that it's back on. Seaman explains that there was a slight misunderstanding and that the managers were trying to prepare something for him, and it got tangled up, so he would like to apologize. The viewers comment, "No, it was an epic level drama. Bring it back." Another one says, "Anyway, it was a great scene." Seaman, seeing the comments, thinks that the situation has definitely improved. Suddenly, he receives his first donation, and the system announces, "You have received your first YouTube donation achievement. You have gained 100 points." Seaman, seeing this, feels excited, and thanks the viewer for the donation. We see the number of viewers increasing at a rapid speed, and finally, they have reached 5,000 viewers. Hoping for the same for this video. The system announces, "You have achieved 5,000 viewers achievement. You have gained 500 achievement points." Seaman, seeing this, says, "Good. If things continue like this, I will earn more achievement points." Seaman finally stretches himself and says, "Shall we focus on the match again? And since I am still new to broadcasting, I will turn off the chat." After a while, we see the mission is finished, and he is teleported back to his apartment. We see him sighing and removing the VR headset as he receives the notification. "You have completed the Heavenly Demon mission. You have cleared the arena," and multiple messages. Seaman, seeing this, says, "The rewards are sure incredible. A 5-level increase just from the placement test, and also the Philosopher's Stone went up by 3. That's like gaining 8 levels of experience." We see the viewers chatting that the screen is off again. Another one says, "It's probably because the arena ended." Another one says, "Looks like this guy doesn't even have a standby screen or something." Seeing all this, Seaman thinks to himself that he doesn't have a standby screen and says, "That's just because I started broadcasting recently, and I will prepare it soon." He then thanks them all for watching his broadcast, and tells them that the broadcast will end here, and see them next time. The chat has mixed reactions. Some are saying, "Don't go," and some are saying, "Bye-bye." With this, I also take my leave. If you are watching till here, please like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, see you next time.